Join us for a time of mental health wellness tips at our LifeWire Lifeline, Mondays at 12 noon on Facebook Live. Parents, grab your preschoolers and join us for fun with music and movement on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Zoom. Every Friday evening, we gather on Facebook Live for a time of prayer. Let's pursue God. The Refresh a Life Outreach and Missions Team presents a holiday toy drive. You are invited to donate or nominate a deserving family to receive gifts this holiday season. For more information, check out our website at refreshglobalnfp.org.
Hey guys, hey, my name is Alicia Rogers, and I have been a part of Refresh Global, really since Refresh Global was Refresh Global. It all started off with auditions for Thomas Rain, and then we had Refresh Worship Live, the first one, and then a couple albums later, here we are, Refresh Global. I am definitely honored to be a part of such an amazing organization. And let me tell you, I do plan to grow old with this organization. I plan to get my AARP card with this organization. So needless to say, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Sorry, Thomas Rain. but yeah, I love this. I love this community. We laugh together. God, do we laugh together? Like we have so much fun with each other. We cry together, and most importantly, we grow with one another. We're always pushing each other. Even in the different aspects of Refresh Global, we have LifeWire, we have the Refresh Worship Department, we have Refresh Kids. That's just to name a few, but there's so many different aspects of this ministry. And again, I am definitely honored to be a part of such an amazing organization. We definitely refresh the world one encounter at a time. So I am here to ask you if you will consider joining us in refreshing or making that impact in one person. And also just joining with us and sowing. You will not be disappointed. It is definitely great seed, or definitely great ground to sow into. You won't be disappointed. I love you guys. Let's become a family. We are Refresh Global.
Join our texting community. Text REFRESH to 55444 to stay connected so we can refresh the world together.
Welcome to Refresh Global Prayer this evening. I am so excited, God. You are just an amazing God. Here we are on a Friday night. It's 45 degrees or less here in Illinois. Yesterday it was 80 degrees, and God, I still say thank you. Even though that we have all this big weather change, it's rainy. It's not a beautiful night, God, but it is still your night. And so we want to say thank you for giving us this night, God. You just do so much for us. We're in the middle of this pandemic. We're getting ready to have an election, God, and so many things are going on at this time. But God, you don't change. You are still the same God. You are still taking care of us no matter what is going on in this world. God, I want to start out by praying for Psalmist Rain herself. She is traveling today. She has gone out into the world. She is releasing her sound wherever she is at, God. I pray that she has safe travel, the team that is with her, that they are safe in their travels, God, that they have a wonderful time in you. Now, when we go out into the world, you are sending out your sound. You have given each one of us a sound, our own unique sound, whether we sing, whether we talk, whether we simply smile. You are sending us out into the world to release the sound that you've put inside of us. So I pray that Psalmist Rain is able to go out to the business end of what she is doing, and that she releases the sound that is within her. and she releases it for them, God. But I also pray that her and the team, as wherever they go while they're on their travels, sitting in the airplane, walking through a doorway, wherever it is that they might be going, that they're releasing the sound that you have put inside of them, God. The world is crying out for the sound that we have inside of us, God, and I pray that we are able to release it wherever we go. In Proverbs 2, 1-3, it says, "My child, listen to what I have to say and treasure my commands. Tune your ears to wisdom and concentrate on understanding. Cry out for insight and ask for understanding." God, you ask us, you tell us, you give us the command to look for your command. You give us the command to look for wisdom, God. So I'm praying tonight that we are hearing your wisdom, that we are placing it in our heart, God, that we are taking the wisdom that you give us, the things that you're telling us to do, the things that you've already told us to do, that we are cherishing those commands that you give us, that we are cherishing them, holding them in our heart, and being ready to use them when you ask us to use them, God. You have so many things that you want to bring into this world. You've stopped the world from moving through COVID. We are in our homes. We are staying away from people. We are trying to keep everybody well, which puts us farther and farther away from other people. God, we were meant for community. We were meant for loving on each other. We were meant to encourage those around us, God. And right now, we're not in that situation, and it just feels wrong. We know that inside of us, it feels wrong to not be in community. God, so I pray that we are using the time that we are not in community to be prepared to go back into community, God. You haven't asked us to continue to do and continue to do and continue to do. You have asked us to listen to you, and you will tell us what to do. You will give us the commands. You will give us the insight. You will give us the understanding. You will give us the discernment to do the things that we need to do, God. I pray that we are able to respond to what you have to say to us, God. We pray that, God, listen to us. God, respond to our prayers. God, respond to what we have to say. God, respond to what is going on. God, respond. You respond, God. You respond, God. That's not what you're saying. You're saying we need to respond to you, God. So I pray that the scales that are over our ears will fall off. The scales that all the input that we're putting into our ears, whether it's through TV, whether it's through music, whether it's through talking to others, whether it's simply reading a book and tuning everything out, God, I pray that our ears are open so that we can hear what you have to say, God. You have so many things to tell us. You have so many commands to give us. You have so many treasures that you want to unlock in us. You have so many treasures of information that we could use, God, to help ourselves and to help the people around us, God. I pray that our ears are open, that there is nothing blocking our ears, that we don't choose all of these other things to keep our brain busy when our brain should be quiet and listening to you, God. I pray that our eyes are open, Lord, that we see the people around us, that we see you around us, that we see you inside the people who are around us. I pray that we can see what it is that you want us to do, God. I pray for our courage and our understanding, that when you place us in front of somebody who needs you, that we hear you, that we speak what you have to say, that we do what you would have us to do, God. Sometimes we know what we're supposed to do. We know that we need to encounter this person and help them out, but God, we're scared. Sometimes we're just plain scared. I'm not sure why we're scared. I know sometimes I'm scared to open my mouth. I might say the wrong thing. So God, I pray that we have courage. You tell us to be courageous, to be courageous. Being courageous is different for every single person, God. Every single person has something that they fear, that they are worried about doing, that they're afraid that they're going to do wrong, or whatever it might be. And we each have a different way of being uncourageous. So God, I pray that we are courageous in the ways that you want us to be courageous. Just this morning, God, you put this man in my path, and you told me, give him some money. He was on the corner asking for money. God, you asked me to give him money, and I'm like, well, I'm going to give him $1. And you said, oh no, give him that $10 bill. You keep the dollar. Oh man, God, he's just gonna drink it. In my mind, I'm thinking, you don't want me to really give him money so he can go out and sin. But God, you didn't ask me any of those things. You said, give him the money. When I said it was $1, you said, give him 10. So I gave him the $10, God. I gave him the $10. And it was amazing. We had a great encounter. I was able to talk to him sitting there at a stoplight, talking to this man who was courageous enough to ask for money and to stand there on the corner and just be looked down upon, because God, sometimes we look down on people. We're standing on the corner. So God, I pray that whatever it is that you would have us do, that we do it. And we do it right away. We are courageous and we do what we need to do. God, you don't ask us to treat the sin. You don't ask us to look at the sin. You don't ask us anything about that. You say, do this. God, and I pray that we are courageous and we do what it is that you ask us to do, God. There are people who are hurting that simply, maybe my smile was more important to this man than the $10 bill. I have no idea, but you know, God. So I thank you for the encounter, God. I thank you for giving me that little tiny bit of courage to do what it is you ask me to do, God. And I pray that all of those who are listening, all of your saints, God, will have the courage to do what it is that you ask them to do. No matter how crazy we may think it is, no matter how off-putting we may think it is, no matter what we think, period. God, it doesn't matter. If you have asked us to do it, I pray that we have the courage to step forward and to do it. Just do it. It took me 7 seconds this morning to just do it, God. And I pray that we are able to, when you ask us to do something, God, that we don't have to understand, that we don't have to know why. We don't have to know why, God. We always want to know why. Is it going to be the best? Is it going to be, well, God, we should already know that it's going to be the best because you ask us to do it. You don't ask us to do second best. You don't ask us to do, oh, that's good enough. You don't ask us to do things that are just, all right, that's good enough. No, God, you always have the best in mind. Whether it's for me, whether it's for whoever I'm dealing with, God, you always have the best in mind, God. When we want to know why, we want to have all the answers from you, God. But we don't need all the answers, God. I pray that we always remember when you ask us to do something, it is always the best. You never give us your second best. You never give us your okay. So God, I pray we remember when you ask us to do it, it is the best, God. It is the best. And you know that we have it inside of us. You know that we can do it. You don't ask us to do anything that we can't do, God. You don't ask us to do anything that's beyond our ability because you gave us the ability. So you know what abilities you gave us. God, I pray that we do what you ask us to do, God. It is vitally important, especially at this time as we are going into whatever third wave of COVID or whatever they're calling it, God, as we go through this season all over again. God, this is it, vitally important that we do what you ask us to do, God. The earth is crying out for answers. The rocks are crying out. The trees are crying out. The entire earth is crying out because we have the answer. And that answer is you, God. That answer is you. And you are looking, you are searching this earth for people who will follow you, God. And I pray that we are the ones who follow you, God. There is a sound inside of us that needs to be given into this world, God. I know that when Psalmist Rain has released, and the Refresh team have released these songs, these heart songs, oh my goodness, God, it is the war cry the world has been looking for. It is the sound that the world has been looking for. I pray that there is a supernatural abundance of people buying these songs. A friend of mine just told me today she was getting a pedicure and they were playing Psalmist Rain where she was getting her pedicure. God, the people, this is Bloomington, Illinois. It's not some necessarily that many people who have even heard of Psalmist Rain in Bloomington, Illinois, God. But I pray that these blessings continue to bless the earth. This is the sound that the world needs to hear, God. And I pray that the sound is released worldwide, God, worldwide, so that everybody has an opportunity to hear the sound that you are putting forth in the earth, God. The solution is in the sound of this music, God. And I pray that it spreads throughout the world, excuse me, and blesses everybody who hears it, God. You never, ever give us anything that is not perfect. You never give us anything that is not perfect. So God, when we are asking you, we need to treasure your commands. We need to tune our ears to wisdom, which would be you, and to concentrate on understanding. We need to cry out for insight and ask for understanding, God. Ask for the understanding of what it is that we need to do. Maybe we've heard what you said, but we don't understand it. It's okay to ask questions, God. Pray that we are able to ask the questions that we need to, so that we can do what you ask us to do, and we can do it well. God, it's different than saying, why? Why do you want me to do this, God? Why? I know for me, I'm always asking why. In my head, I just want to know the reason why. And it makes sense to me, but it's not necessarily anything I need to know why, God. So I pray that we don't question you, but we ask questions. We ask for understanding. We ask for discernment. We ask for the help that we need, which is you, God. And God, sometimes you give us the answer to our questions and we miss it. We think we need to hear your audible voice. We think that an angel needs to come down and talk to us. Sometimes we think we need to hear trumpets playing and blaring, and the whole world can hear, look, they're talking to Deb. But that's not what we need, God. We need understanding. You may send a child to give us the answer. You may send a homeless man standing on the corner begging for money might be the answer. God, we need to have our eyes open, our ears open, and our hearts ready to hear the answer that you give to us. And we don't question your answer. We don't question the wisdom that you've given us, that we just accept what you are telling us and know in our heart, God, know in our heart that you only give the best. You only answer with the best answer. You only have us do the best thing. You only answer, or you only give us wisdom that is the best. And it is exactly what we need at exactly the right time, God. I pray that we are able to take our sound that's inside of us. It doesn't have to be a song. It doesn't have to be a melody. It doesn't have to be anybody playing an instrument. It doesn't have to be anybody doing anything of any giant consequence. It could simply be we walk into the room, and because we carry your presence, God, because we are your sons and your daughters, and you are inside of us, and we are welcoming you, and we are keeping our temple clean so that you enjoy living inside of us, so that when we walk in the room, the people see that an answer has just walked in the room. In you, God, not in us. We are just a vehicle that takes you into the room, God. So I pray that we keep our temples clean. We keep our bodies clean. We keep our minds clean. We keep our ears and our eyes clean. And the words that come out of our mouth, we keep them clean, so that when all we have to do is be in the presence of someone else, and they know that the answer is there, because you're inside of us. You are residing in the temple that is us, God. So I pray that we just keep ourselves clean, God. All we need to do is walk in the room. Sometimes people, when they recognize you in us, they come to us for an answer. And that's when we pray and ask you for the wisdom and understanding to answer their question, to help them in what they need help with, to do what it is that you ask us to do, because your answers are always the best. What you have us do is always the best, God. So I pray that we are keeping our temples clean for you, God. You want to reside in us. You love us. You love us unconditionally. if I never did another right thing ever, you still love me, God. You still love me. Sometimes I think we forget that. We look at ourselves in the mirror and we see the faults, but if we looked in the mirror through your eyes, God, we would see the perfection that you see. We would see who you see, God. So God, I pray that we start out our evening by asking you, asking for your perfect answer, God. What is it about me that you love so much? And that we listen for the answer and that we accept the answer because it's the best answer, God. So with that newfound knowledge of how much you love us, God, then we are able to go out and we are able to minister to others who are around us, God, because we have that confidence, that God confidence in ourselves that we can answer, that we can help, that we can love on, that we can support someone else, God. Because when you give us the gifts that you give us, when you give us the talents that you give us, God, when we use the things that you've placed inside of us, we can't help but love on someone else because you are love. And when we are working with other people and we're loving other people, then we're giving them you, God. We are giving them you. And I pray that we are able to love on ourselves so that we can love on others and we can go out into the world and sing our sound, whether it's truly singing or whatever it might be. God, I pray that we are able to just relax. Just relax. God, I invite people who are listening to come to the altar right now. God, I pray that they're able to come to the altar, not because we need something, not because we have a complaint, not because we have a petition before you, God, but that we can just come to the altar, relax, and enjoy your presence, God. We can just relax and we can enjoy your presence. Take the time to feel his arms loving you, wrapping you in a giant bear hug. Just feel that love. Feel the love that he's giving you. Feel the love that he has for you always. Just relax. God, I hear your sound. I hear your sound in the room, God. I hear your sound, God. I hear you loving on me, sitting with me, God, encouraging me to continue when I just want to stop and love on you. But God, you are encouraging me so that others can feel what I'm feeling, God. Feel him resting with you. Feel him loving you. Feel him encouraging you to pull that sound out of you. Feel him pulling that sound out of you. Feel him pulling that sound out of you. God, I just feel you placing the sound in us, placing the sound that you want in this earth, the sound that you want in this earth. Feel you just placing that sound inside of us, God. I feel you loving on us. If you need to, kneel down, put your face to the ground. Cry out to him with your heart. Don't cry out to him with your mind. Sometimes your mind can get in the way. Cry out with your heart. Just cry out. Cry out and he will hear you. I pray for those who are living alone, who feel like they're alone, who don't have people sitting in the house with them or apartment or wherever you may be. God is always with you. God is always with you. Turn off the TV. Turn off the music. Turn off any distractions coming in your ears. And just feel him loving on you. Just feel him loving on you. Just feel him loving on you. He will never leave you, never forsake you. He will never walk away from you. He will never leave you alone. And as you continue to soak in his presence, just soak in his presence. Just soak, soak, soak in his presence, soak. Soak in his presence. And as you go about your day tomorrow, the rest of your week, the rest of the calendar year, remember this. Remember this presence. And sometimes when you feel like you've just run away from that presence, stop. Stop. Take a deep breath and say, oh God, I need some understanding here. I need your presence. And he will be there to love on you, to continue to move you forward, continue to move you forward, to love on you, to be with you. And just take the time right now just to soak, just to soak. What vision is he giving you of him being with you? What vision is that? Keep that image with you as you go about your day tomorrow. And remember that image. Remember that image he is giving you right now. Remember that image. No matter what you're doing tomorrow, whether you're sitting on the couch vegging out, or if you're go shopping, or if you're doing housework, remember that image that he is with you, that he is with you, that he is staying with you. He will never leave you. He will never forsake you. He will never leave you or forsake you. Soak in his presence. Take some time tomorrow to soak in his presence again. To soak in his presence again. And just feel him loving on you. Just feel him loving on you. Feel that understanding coming to you of what it is that he would have you do. That what it is he would have you say. That what is it he would have you do to help someone else? What is it that he would have you do to help yourself? Hang on to those things as you go forward. Develop what it is that he is telling you right now. What is he telling you right now? What is it he wants you to do? What is it he wants you to understand? Keep those things. Journal them if you need to. Write them down as he continues to love on you. 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 He loves you so much. He loves you so much, more than you could ever understand, more than anybody could ever understand. We will never understand his love. We will never understand it. And that's okay, because he does love us. He loves us beyond. He loves us with agape. He loves us with agape. So continue to take this presence with you for the rest of your evening. Continue to soak in his presence. Continue to ask for that understanding. God, what is it that you would have me do? And then I double dog dare you. Go and do it. Go and do what he would have you do. If you can do it right now, go do it. If you can do it right now, go do it. Don't waste any time. Don't listen to the rest of this prayer. Just get up and go do it. Just get up and go do it. Double dog dare you tomorrow. If he tells you to do this tomorrow, go do it. Just go do it. Don't think about it. Don't analyze it. Don't be scared, because God only tells you to do perfect things, because he is perfect. He would never have you do anything less than. So I double dog dare you to take what he's told you tonight, to take what he's going to continue to tell you tonight, and take it and go do it. Do it as soon as he would have you do it. If he wants you to go out right now and give your spouse a hug, Go do it right now. Don't listen anymore. Just go do it. If that's what he would have you do, go do it. Whatever it is that he is telling you, do it at his perfect timing when he tells you at the perfect time. Just go do it. God, I thank you for this opportunity to be able to soak in your presence, God. I thank you for the opportunity to lead others in soaking in your presence, God. I don't take these privileges lightly, God. So I say thank you for letting me lead the people. God, and I know that as people are listening to what you have to say to God, as they're soaking in your presence, they are taking the time to hear what you have to say, that they will go and do, and they will lead, and they will continue to lead. And as we all continue to go out into the world and do exactly what it is you would have us to say, God, what a sound we would bring to this earth. What a sound we would bring to this earth as we listen to what you have to say. We start right here, right now, is soaking in your presence and hearing what you have to say, God. Hearing what you have to say and doing it. Obeying. Obeying isn't a cuss word. You ask us to obey. And God, I pray that we obey with a quickness and as soon as you would have us do it, God. To not give up, to not be afraid, to know that if you are inside of us, if you have asked us to do it, it is the perfect thing to do, God. And there's nothing that we should be afraid of. No matter what the people might say back to us, you have asked us to do it, and it was the perfect thing to do. They just may need time to soak in your presence too, so they can understand. So God, I say thank you for all that you are doing for us, God. Thank you for being with us right now. Thank you for saturating us with your presence, God. And if people need to continue to saturate in this presence, I just pray that they continue, that they don't stop just because I stopped praying, God. Pray that they continue in your presence, they continue in your understanding, and they continue to obey exactly what it is you would have them do, God. God, you are so amazing, and you would never steer us wrong, and you would never have us do something that would hurt someone else. God, thank you for loving us. Thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you for saturating us, God. You are saturating us with your presence. All of our DNA, everything around us is being called to you, God. All of our DNA is being called to you. And when we let our DNA come to you, it changes, God. It changes. I know that it changes. Our DNA completely changes because you've called us forth, God. So I say thank you for calling us forth. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for giving us the things to do and the things to say and the courage to do it right here, right now, as you call us to do it, God. God, you're amazing. And I just want to say thank you for all that you do. And thank you for loving on us. And thank you for calling us forth. And God, we are making an oath right now to bring our sound into the earth because that is what the earth is crying out for. Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you. In your son's name, I pray. Amen.
Join us for a time of mental health wellness tips at our LifeWire Lifeline, Mondays at 12 noon on Facebook Live. Parents, grab your preschoolers and join us for fun with music and movement on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Zoom. Every Friday evening, we gather on Facebook Live for a time of prayer. Let's pursue God. The Refresh a Life Outreach and Missions team presents a holiday toy drive. You are invited to donate or nominate a deserving family to receive gifts this holiday season. For more information, check out our website at refreshglobalnfp.org.
Hey guys. Hey. My name is Alicia Rogers, and I have been a part of Refresh Global, really since Refresh Global was Refresh Global. It all started off with auditions for Thomas Rain, and then we had Refresh Worship Live, the first one, and then a couple albums later, here we are, Refresh Global. I am definitely honored to be a part of such an amazing organization. And let me tell you, I do plan to grow old with this organization. I plan to get my AARP card with this organization. So needless to say, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Sorry, Thomas Rain. but yeah, I love this. I love this community. We laugh together. God, do we laugh together? Like we have so much fun with each other. We cry together, and most importantly, we grow with one another. We're always pushing each other. Even in the different aspects of Refresh Global, we have LifeWire, we have the Refresh Worship Department, we have Refresh Kids. That's just to name a few, but there's so many different aspects of this ministry. And again, I am definitely honored to be a part of such an amazing organization. We definitely refresh the world one encounter at a time. So I am here to ask you if you will consider joining us in refreshing or making that impact in one person. And also just joining with us and sowing. You will not be disappointed. It is definitely great seed, or definitely great ground to sow into. You won't be disappointed. I love you guys. Let's become a family. We are Refresh Global.
Join our texting community. Text REFRESH to 55444 to stay connected so we can refresh the world together.